Okay. Oh, well, I'm ready to commentate some matches. I was gassed a little bit earlier, but, you know, I got that re-up from the,
Yeah.
from the Papadilla. That's right, bringing me right back to Philly.
All right, we got Galahad and Ray D, or what do you think, Raid?
I like Raid.
Okay.
I like Raid.
I love Galahad, a little Green Knight reference.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, right? Great
Yeah,
movie.
snubbed at the Oscars, but what are you gonna do? Hoping that Galahad doesn't get snubbed in the Sheik matchup.
Well, this is traditionally a good match for Sheik, right?
Yeah, I think that there's been just a lot of development, and maybe I feel like the moment that shifted was GTX, or what was the Missouri tournament in 2017 where Nunn first beat Mewtwo King? I felt like that was the day that it was like, oh, Falcon could do it. And not just like every once in a while. There are plans that you can implement to win this all the time.
The first set where Nunn beat Mewtwo King, I thought it was like I thought it was GOM or like a Canadian tournament.
It might have been. It might have been that. I'm just
right.
remembering the one I saw. That was in the Middle West.
But yeah, I mean, historically pretty tough matchup for Falcon. Hard to deal with Sheik's tilts and shenanigans in neutral. Sheik has probably the best punish game against Falcon in the game.
Yeah.
But right now, we're not really seeing that so far from Galahad. 4-1 stock, that's a tough game one.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a player diff, it appears, rather than matchup diff.
Absolutely.
So what would be the first bit of advice that you'd give to a new Sheik player who's in this matchup where everybody's saying, oh, Sheik wins, or Sheik does really well, and you're not doing really well? Where do you start?
That's tough. Like, I think the easiest way to learn the game is to kind of look at some over-centralizing punish game related thing and then reverse engineer how to get those openings, which in Sheik's case is the grab. Now, hold on. Okay, so Raid taking game one.
Yep.
And to that point on getting grabs, I didn't see too many from Galahad. Now, that could just be maybe a little bit overwhelmed by Raid's game plan. We'll see if there's a little bit more of that. We'll see if, okay, Galahad not even sticking with Sheik, so never mind.
I love that.
That's a counter pick.
Yeah. That's super interesting. I wonder why the Sheik, if Puff is something that you think about a lot in this matchup, but I guess we'll find out.
In the history of Smash, has a Sheik ever counterpicked a Falcon with Puff after losing game one? Has this ever, like, has this literally...
Galahad, a trailblazer in the history of our game. This is the thing, is everybody at home, whether you're new or have been around for a while, you can pretty much do something new every... There's never been the same game twice, right? And even beyond that, some of these wider decisions, maybe never before seen.
And
I think if we tricked Hungrybox into picking Sheik game one, like, if we, like... social pressured him into it, then he might switch back to Puff game two.
I did like Juan's Sheik. It did pretty well for the stretch that I think there were a couple Foundry tournaments where he went Sheik. So
and there's a world where like if Wizrobe was like really like beating up his Puff over and over, that I could see him picking up. No, he would never.
No,
he would never.
not HK.
No. Maybe in another life. There's an alternate universe Juan that is a Sheik main. For the Wizrobe matchup.
Now, I've seen a couple box or rectangle controller players at
I like
CEO
rectangle
so far, right? Rectangle.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think one of them was. I've seen already like one other Falcon who plays a rectangle controller, and that's like pretty rare. You know, maybe other than Florida, because I know Gatsu's also been toying around with that a little bit. But other than that, like I guess Scar. But usually it's like Fox, I feel like. That see a lot
it seems like Fox is probably 80%, but I'm seeing more and more kind of diversity of characters that are adopting the alternate controls, right? And going for just a different way of playing the game. There's obviously some differences, like the way that your drift is going to work is kind of going to go 1-0, 1-0. I'm not sure if that's a benefit or a harm right now. I want to see it happen because I could see a world where the kind of really tight controls you got on the analog stick are better for these drift-based characters. But I don't know. I just don't know. It's too new.
Well, speaking of new, we still have that Puff counter pick, and Raid so far dealing with it pretty well. Doesn't really seem shaken up at all. Like just look at Raid's posture right there. That looks like a very comfortable human.
Yeah, listen, the posture game is all important. You see J-Mook slouching? No.
No.
You see Raid slouching? No. That's why they're winners. right? J-Mook and Raid.
I would actually love to, because we talk about J-Mook's posture a lot. I would love to actually just take like tournament film and then do like a, maybe even like a thesis, look at people's posture before and after J-Mook.
We could have a posture competition. We could have like
just raw,
let's go Galahad.
Raw rest, Raid, actually looking up in surprise.
You take those. You take those. At 107, you were probably going to die, like lose your stock anyways pretty soon. Like, you take what you get.
Okay.
And at some point, yeah. Oh, even that's pretty nice. There's stuff here for Galahad to look back at and learn from for sure. Even though this game's not over, but I think Galahad has already had a huge improvement over game 1.
It's it was looking like a 4-stock. I'll tell you that. So it's
yeah. Listen, I watched. Ooh. Sorry, I'm getting a little mic interference. Can't hear. Back in the day, I remember Zane taking just one game at a time off of HBox and just like slowly and steadily set over set, getting better and better. So pretty much anytime you're playing one of the Smash games, it's really important to take the long view. Because if you just are too focused on one set, one stock, right, you're going to lose the game, which is learning and getting better and growing.
And it's a process. With Melee in particular, it's such an old game.
Uh-huh.
Well, old, maybe there's a negative connotation there, but it's like a historic game.
Grizzled veteran.
Trialed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like, I was talking with Chroma earlier. Like, I've been playing since 2005, and I don't think about that very much, but it's been almost 20 years. And really every step of the way involved having to improve, obviously, but it's just a marathon, right?
Yeah.
Even if you look at like the number of years, you can break that down into like tournaments to even like a tournament set. Like, you have to think about the long term because there's just like a lot to learn, a lot to like improve on, and that's what makes